try and in the box with it, and let me know if you peer. Next week will be duos, but today it's all about the solo action. You can find yourself in the Big Apple.
He's actually maxed. We were able to see his mat count there for a little bit. He's completely maxed on everything. He actually has extra metal laying close by. Max rockets with the 12. Completely great AR. Look at this, 650 rounds of small ammunition, 130 slugs, 8 deploys, a single shadow bomb. Sure, you know, he probably wishes he had 6, but this is a loadout you want to make plays with. He's going to send shots over to the player, trying to get in. Lucas is going to get caught out, making a rotation, and that elim puts him in the top 25.
He is there, knocking on the door here, and this is how his journey unfolded to make it through to the Fortnite World Cup. Every opportunity that he has to take someone out, you can see he's singling out players and taking advantage of the positioning, but hopping around the map. These are some other players' journey as well, as we have Ariel here looking for the heavy snipe, finds a weak opportunity in the build. Whoever that is up above him is going to manage to connect the structure, but you know what, Ariel pops a nice little cone up. He's trying to go for it. He's really trying to get a piece of this high ground here. And now he disengages the pursuit, but is still tunneling on by.
That's good though. You know, if you don't have all. If this is, you know, semifinals, go for it, right? Like at worst, you're just set back a game, you could re-queue and everything's okay, but in finals, every single interaction does matter. So for Ariel, you know, he could have potentially challenged for that high ground, but it's like, I just kind of use my heavy snipe. I don't have that key to all doors. Let me just get myself to safety, take a moment, reload, gather more information. And because of just that slight pause, look, he's now in top 15. He found an elim, which he was hunting for before. He just finds it in another place. And now he's still just continuing. He picks up a Rift to go as well. Heavy snipe going to be picked up too. So now, I mean, Ariel's in a great spot right now.
Yeah, for sure. That nice little mat replenish there from catching the elim is going to throw him back in the running here to try and see if he can squeak out a victory. Up at the high ground, we have other things unfolding. Kalen goes down to Samurai. Sosman still alive in the mid-tart, putting down pressure. Squall's in a campfire here. That's a signal to the rest of the lobby that, hey, there's someone weak nearby. Sosman hears the shadow bombs kind of thrown all around him. What's he going to do here? He's just on the hunt. OCE region specifically requires you to get a ton of eliminations if you want to be number 1. There's only one spot up for grab. And there it is, another player nearby. That's all shield ripped off. He's going to push that. Sees a player above him. He does see a player above him.
He's going to try and maybe make something happen. But look, don't forget, he still has every single rocket.
Nice rocket right there.
12 rockets. This payload is about to just destroy builds all the way around. And look, Ariel as well up on the high ground has them. So the first rocket from Ariel comes in, and then Sosman's second finds an elimination. Another rocket from Ariel up on the high ground. And look at this. Down below, they're just desperately trying to keep their builds up, and they're burning through mats. Sosman is now out, and look, he gets challenged from the front, challenged from the right, finds the 2 players, and he makes this a 1v1, but look at his HP right now. First rocket's going to come in. How is he going to pull this off, Monster?
I don't know if he can. He doesn't really have much going for him. Just 24 health.
He picked up 500 metal from 0 to 500. 50 builds. This is huge. If those get fully built off, they're going to absorb an entire rocket and still stay built. But
no way, dude.
This is a tough spot. Oh. That's a tall ask. That's a tall ask.
It really was. 200 HP on Ariel with the RPG as well. He was fully loaded, med kit, minis. He had everything he needed. That was a tough end game for Sosman. But hey, second place is not too shabby in this format. You get you know, a ton of placements, but more importantly, those 2 eliminations to squeak out. We've seen the difference of 1 point was literally what all these games came down to. So reaction to jump down there and go for it. That's the risk you take, and that's the payout you get.
Now we hop on over. There you go. This is, so don't forget, this is now, we're in Asia replays. You can see at the top right. So these happened again overnight while we were all asleep. I was asleep like a baby. That's not true. I woke up several times. I was mad about it. Moffin XD, though, was the victor coming out of that Asia region.
Yep, and you see there, Moffin finds someone hiding in the cone. Does capitalize on a nice little elimination. Sees the loot back there, but might be a little too far to go scavenge for, so he's just on the hunt still here. As things are poised up outside of the Dusty Divot. Really want to find yourself in the center of it. Nice shot right there. As he catches someone who's running right by. These competitive players are so good with the accuracy. Oh, he's trying to play the loot hoarder here, trying to get all the mats and stuff that he did not battle for, and now he's got the storm against his back, and there's no way that man was going to get out of there, because with the 60-second threshold now, the storm can also just reward that Elam regardless to Moffin here. And whoa, he jumps into the zone for the desperate materials. Didn't even rift out. Ouch, it's going to cost him like 70 health there, Zeke.
That's a lot. Okay, so he did pick up 3 campfires. Sure, he can heal up, but that's such a tell, right? The moment you place a campfire, you're telling everyone around you, hey, I am low HP. I have to use this if I hope to survive. Now, keep in mind, he was at the edge of the storm. He had quite the rotation to make. Because he dipped into the storm, everyone else is already making their way into safety. He's going to have a relatively safe rotation, but, like, again, he's in critical condition. If he finds an Elam, it's going to be huge. That Siphon's going to just put him right back into fighting condition, but he's got to find that Elam.
Dude, talk about, like, insane rotation. First of all, he didn't get shot once coming from the further side of the Dusty Divot, and there was multiple players set off on bases. That is what we call that little bit of luck factor that sometimes you just need to kind of pull through here, because it doesn't happen like that very often. Someone gets rifted up there. Moffin lands a nice little 78. He's still in the game right now. Still in the game here.
He's going to reload that heavy snipe. So just look for an opportunity. I doubt he's going to try and go for close range snipes. He's probably going to use that to just punch into people's bunkers. He has his own rift to go. If things get a little hairy, I think he probably wants to use it, because if you, this is great. Just punch you, there you go, and use the other player's rift.
Community rift again.
Yeah, but look where we're going right now. We're going on the little lip there of Dusty Divot. That's such an incline that if you don't make it first, you can actually box other people out, and then they have to burn materials to get over the little hill there. So I like that play, just saying, you know what? This guy used the rift, and look at this. Prime real estate.
You just said it too, right? Like, you want to get on the lift there and see what you can do. Moffin comes in with some shots here. Looking for the replacement.
Wow.
Pulls off the cone, Zeke.
Wow.
Just like that.
And this is huge now, too, because not only does he get all the Elims, the campfire's still going, so people are going to be like, oh, that player must be weak. Would we like to engage him? It's like, please. No, yeah, absolutely. Like, come on in.
That'll be a big mistake for someone there. Let's look at this map here. This is the Asian region, guys. We're tuned in with Asia. Hopping into some of what occurred overnight here. Char Mew looking to get his little moment here on the show. Nice shot right there. Oh man, Char gets hit with the Shadow Bomb. Don't forget, guys, that animation while you're in Shadow Bomb as well, you're vulnerable. You are very vulnerable. You have to be careful of your surroundings. You can take damage. You're not invincible in the Shadow Bomb form.
Man, Charmy is just burning through materials. That was a pretty rough rotation. It's probably going to cost him in the long run, because, I mean, he did go through quite a bit of mats, but you know, Monster, I like to pose this question. I've already posed it to Pookie. I've posed it to Kitty. You know, you guys are members of the community. You know, you've taught so many of us different things. You know, you've got a podcast. In case you know who Monster D-Face is, go send him a follow. He's incredible. But you've been in situations like this, right? You've played in Summer Skirmish. You played in, I think, Fall Skirmish as well, right?
Yep.
You know, we went to Korea together to watch the Korea Open. So you understand what these players are thinking. For maybe people that are kind of new to Fortnite, that maybe this might be their first time tuning in, you want to just break down some things for them.
Yeah,
like for instance, like rotations. Like what is Metsuo thinking right now as he's barreling toward trying to keep himself safe, right?
Yeah, well, like, obviously, initial threats, right? You want to handle everyone here. Nice little trap play. So just even every single decision can be broken down. The way they use traps, a lot of these players, you want to double trap left and right wall, so you cut off all plans for escape.
Right.
Something small like that. Here, editing his way down, right? He does not have an escape plan. That elim right there is going to give him the launch pad, of course, to get the escape route off the high ground, but just recognizing height differences, the way competitive players play zone, they typically like to hug the zone. They never give too much, they don't take too much real estate in the end moments. They take their time and kind of hug the zone instead, flirt with that storm line. So many little different things that come into competitive play, and you can really just nitpick and break it all apart. It's so crazy in the highest levels.
Yeah, I just love talking about that stuff. I'm not great at articulating my thoughts with that kind of stuff. I understand what's happening. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to tell you a thing.
It happens so quickly, especially in Fortnite. But that's one of my favorite parts about it is just like the action, the APM, the actions per minute in Fortnite is unparalleled to any other BR I've ever experienced. And that's what really draws me to this game specifically. So we are looking at Moffin, who pulled through, man, took it right underneath the feet of people like Aim Hero that Zeke and I had. We had the pleasure of casting it at South Korea. He crushed it.
Yeah.
We saw Sinnoh out
we met
there.
him. We met
we met all, dude. It's like so it was surreal, dude,
yeah,
right?
Dude. I remember that story that would happen so vividly. We met him because we were like, we're like in almost like a green room waiting to go. Yeah. And we saw players around us, and Aim Hero was like, he popped in the room, and we're like, oh, hey, like, hi.
Matter of fact, remember, there was like this divider, we were standing over it, and they were like, Zeke, I love you.
And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah, you're Zeke, and you're Monster D-Face. And we were like, wait, first of all, congratulations, Moffin XD. We know you're the victor, and that is exactly why 11 eliminations and the Victor Royale. 21-point game, massive lead for him. But yeah, I remember, and then they just called us out. They're like, yeah, you're Monster, and you're Zeke. And I was just like, what the heck?
That was definitely crazy to think outside the country.
Yeah, that was what was
we're out the country. This is Fortnite on a global scale here.
Man, how that's so crazy. That was like at the beginning of the year, and now here we are, dude.
Yeah.
How time flies.
We have not made a full year casting Fortnite yet. This thing is just like exploded.
Oh goodness, the snipe coming out! Oh, wow, what a massive shot coming out of Moffin there. And look, check this out. 31 players left. He's already on 6 eliminations. This guy is crazy, and this is who is going to the World Cup Finals. This is the level of play we will see in the finals.
Yeah, Moffin's going to have to bring it. When you put a player who's only experienced one region, let's just say, against the likes of the rest of the world, who knows what region is really going to come out on top. Keep in mind, too, though, guys, EU and the American regions, the European and American region, will, of course, have a larger presence just off of the sheer numbers. So it is going to be interesting how the top 20 turns out, especially considering, some presence a little less than others. But, I mean, all these guys are equally skilled.
That's right.
In some capacity. They're all deserve to be there, all of them.
And you know what's funny too is we interviewed, in case you missed it earlier, go back and check out the VODs. We actually interviewed Sosman, the winner from OCE, and he was just basically explaining, like, we asked him, how do you feel about going into the Fortnite World Cup Finals? And he was like, oh, OCE plays differently than NA does, and it's going to be interesting for me going to finals and competing against that because we just play so differently. So I almost, in my head, like, I just imagine everyone kind of playing their own game going into finals, but at the same time, like, you got to think this is a $30 million prize pool. This is huge. The biggest stage ever
for different places. I mean, but that goes against everyone else too, though.
Sure.
Because that means, oh man, just think about it.
I think finals is gonna have its own meta.
They're gonna have a style, and of course the pressure's gonna be high, guys. I think the real question is who's gonna have the confidence to take a fight and win a fight. Like, who is straight up gonna have the confidence and just be like, you know what? I don't respect your builds. I'm pushing. You're gonna be that guy, right? Because that's really what it comes down to. If you are confident like that, that's why you see people like Bugga, Dubs, Clicks, right? Stompy. They was like, what duo are you? I don't care if you're Kinstar. I'm gonna take your wall right now.
Exactly.
And that level of play is why. And dude, we've seen Stompy do it every week. Even this time around, he got 11. He was just outside of top 10. So trust me, he's still here, guys. That's what they do. They just do crazy plays.
Yeah, that's actually something you taught me way back when. Is you cannot. Let's say it's just Zeke, me, and I'm in this game somehow. I don't know, some alternate universe, and I'm good at the game, and I'm fighting off against someone like Moffin, who's qualified as that #1 player going into finals. I cannot stop and say, that's Moffin. I know what he's capable of. I can't even say, I just have to go. It doesn't matter
we're going through full games. The early game story, the contention, the points of interest, who likes to land where the map's going to be at that point, right? Things are going to change, and the game is going to be played in a way that we have not seen yet. And that's what excites me the most, is that we're going to see 100 of the world's best under one hub. The Fortnite World Cup.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. And to see all the Fortnite fans there as well, kind of cheering on the people they support, it's going to be
Are you ready
amazing.
to feel the crowd's energy?
I'm going to cry.
Grip through your body?
I'm going to cry.
It's literally you're going to feel the vibration of the entire stadium.
Just erupt when incredible plays happen, you know.
Oh man.
Man. Ooh, dude. Chills, dude. Chills.
Chills, dude.
Oh, yeah. We just fist bumped. You guys didn't see it. Fortnite fan, we had a little bit of a moment there. We hope you had that moment with us. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Are you ready? Are you hyped for the Fortnite World Cup Finals in New York City? Alter Ego here finds an elimination, cracks that player. Now, this is his first elim. He's probably hoping for more, right? At this point, he wants as many points as possible. So he's going to look to probably play a little bit more aggressive, right? But look at everyone else. Moffin, the #1 player who came through for Asia, is in this lobby, and he's dominating the high ground. 12 eliminations, by the way.
He has just been shutting it down while we've been chatting up a storm here. Moffin going for the high ground. He's holding it. Nice little side jump right there. No errors coming out of him. Look at how he uses the boom bow to crack open all the builds. Nice little 82 right there. Here comes the pressure. Can he get the follow-up? He's looking for it. Nice little side jump, and that's another one. This player is in pickaxe territory. Bye-bye jackpot. Moff could not even get the loot off that. Couldn't get the spoils. Another boom bow crack open right there. And when a fresh build comes out, if you do not hesitate, you send a boom bow right away, you break it all open. So that's how he's able to just like catch these players off guard, because those roof panels are just, that's it, exploding right up.
Yeah.
Down to the low ground, CXV gets one elim there, and it's Macy and Mev who's going toe-to-toe. Mob still just has the dominant position.
Yeah, I mean, look, so he's going to drop down. He's got the single build, so he had to take a little bit of fall damage to rejoin everyone from the stratosphere. Macy's down below, and look at this. Immediately, boom, he says, I know you heard me take this fall damage. You don't know how much it was. They go for the challenge, and Moffin was prepared. He knew. Again, it's just about dictating the game, right? He's like, I want you to challenge me. You know that I'm hurt, how hurt I am. You do not know. And just like that, dictating the game yet again, cleans up that victory out. 15 eliminations.
Points is that? It's that 25-point game.
That's
literally doubling his score out of nowhere. If you were in the top 10 and you had that come up, that's it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, guys, you know, we've had an awesome time, but for now, we're going to hit pause. Let's send it back into studio with Dr. Lupo, because I believe the doctor is in.
What a terrible, repetitive joke, Zeke, but I appreciate the effort. I'm just kidding. Thanks, Zeke. Appreciate that. Crazy games from Asia and Oceania. You love to see kind of the meta changes and how different regions present themselves and the way that they adjust their gameplay relative to everybody else. But Europe today, and as we've seen multiple times in the past, Europe has done an excellent job of putting on a show like I think few people could even possibly imagine. And to talk about that and an interesting turn of events for who ended up at the top, joining me right now is Sundown. What do you think so far about Europe?
Thank you so much, Lupo. Indeed, it was crazy. So just a couple of quick facts I want to write down. 15 points separated 100th place and 8th place. That means a 5-point victory royale was the difference of going to New York City and being in the 100th spot. That is absurd for how close it was. Blackso, in that final game we watched, pushed him up to 61 points. He was tied at 61, but because he had the victory royale and got the average elim at the end, it pushed him into the last spot. We talk about how every single interaction ends up mattering, and then unfortunately on the outside looking in, Airwalks, the last play we saw, if he had had one more build, he could have made it up the elevation and kept the storm. Instead, lost it, lost the victory royale, and lost his spot in New York City. Nitro also on the outside looking in, 2 top 15 finishes, but not being enough. That lets you know how crazy it is. However, the player who took the top spot was Cypher's Andretta with a crazy run, and we're going to be joined by him right now. Andretta, man, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good.
I mean, I would hope so. So we saw you yesterday put on an incredible show. In week after week, your placings have gone up. What was the difference between this weekend and all of the other weekends? Were you just feeling it? Did you eat your Wheaties for breakfast? What's going on?
The thing is, the other weeks I wasn't that confident, but this week I decided to try and talk with someone while playing. So that kind of helped. Getting to like talk to people, getting them to calm you down and stuff. And I got good RNG. Very good.
Nice, yeah, being able to get all of that and put it together. So you got off to an incredible run, winning 2 of your first 4 games. How were you able to get those victories? Did you just dominate them out? You had a solid amount of elims. What were those wins like?
I was using the bowler to get the endgame, and then I usually found out like when I needed to drop out and stuff to go for the eliminations, and I usually had my bowler until endgame. So the thing is, you should try and keep your bowler until endgame, because it's really strong. You can go out of your bowler, get a lot of kills, and win the game. Also, you can use the bowler to get high most of the times.
Yeah,
So I did that sometimes.
we saw you execute on that, kind of something we were talking about, pushing the gameplay and actually turning the baller into something that was aggressive. Now, kind of about midway through, you looked at the leaderboard, saw you were in such a lead, and knew you'd be able to close it out. But my question is, when it was all said and done, and you saw you were there, you're in the #1 spot, what did you do? Did you run around your house? Did you go tell your parents? Were you celebrating on Discord? What was that moment like?
I was celebrating so much. I actually got hosted by Symphony. My stream was going crazy. I was actually, while I was playing, like my 5th game, I started crying because I almost knew I was qualified. So that was probably one of the best moments in my life ever. I don't know what to say.
It's got to be exhilarating, honestly, to know that, especially in Europe, which we've talked about as one of the most difficult regions to qualify in. Even with 8 positions, there's so much pressure there. But I got to ask a kind of a random question. I keep seeing the lighting change on your face. What are you watching right now?
I'm actually watching the Fortnite stream.
All right, you see yourself. There's layers here. There's layers. It's very Inception level. Well, thank you so much, Andretta, for joining us. Before we let you go, though, if you could do me a favor, please, 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 please shout out your own channels, shout out your duo's channels, anybody you want to.
Okay. So my Twitch is Andretta. My Twitter is Cypher Andretta. My YouTube is Andretta. And I want to shout out Shoko Laden, and all the people in that Discord. And I want to shout out my stream. Thank you so much for the support.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Again, incredible performance both yesterday and today. Congratulations. $10,000, a spot in New York City, and as Golden Boy would say, we'll have to get a slice of pizza. We'll be seeing you later, man.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely incredible. It's crazy to think just the age ranges too. You know, kids that are so young, all the way up to, I believe the oldest qualified right now is 24
right now. Yep.
Consider how much they're playing for too. I don't blame him honestly for getting emotional in the middle of even halfway through his games. It's insane.
It's just nuts to me where he's like, oh, I didn't have the level of confidence. And then right after, it's like, yeah, about like halfway through my games, I started crying because I knew I'd done it. And it's like, that's the level of confidence you need to be bringing on the final day. Just huge shout out to Andretta. Go follow him on Twitter, follow him on Twitch, give him all the plugs because I promise you'll be seeing more of this prodigy. Topping Europe is an incredible accomplishment, but we have more games and more regions to be getting into. We saw Oceania and Asia just now. We're going to hop on in to Brazil for a brief little bit. So back on over to the cast as we go.
Thank you guys so much. Man, you know, I feel like we've just nerded out about Fortnite.